Hello and welcome to the Geeky Brits Podcast. This is a weekly podcast where myself, Sparks Drags, I am joined by
Chris from My Mind's Emporium.
And Ruth from the YouTube channel Thrills.
and we're going to talk a little bit about Titanfall, Gamescom, maybe some Ironman, and EGX this year. So we'll get straight into it with Titanfall. Have you guys played it?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, it's okay. I had a little trouble logging on, but overall I wasn't overly too impressed. I was really eager to actually try this. They called it a tech test, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was eager to play because I didn't play it on the X1, didn't play the first one, and I must say I was slightly disappointed.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't quite for me. I'm not too into those moving mechanics of jumping off walls and bouncing around, but I don't know. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts?
I haven't played it myself. I played the original on the Xbox One, and I really enjoyed it. It was very broken in my opinion, but I really, really enjoyed it. Ruth, you've played Titanfall 2 better.
Yeah, I did enjoy it. I mean, I did have server issues at the beginning where it just kept saying no servers found, but it is like Advanced Warfare, I would say, in the moving mechanics, but I suppose that's what Titanfall is, isn't it? It is more jumpy aroundy, but I enjoyed pilot versus pilot. I didn't try any other mode,
Did you?
but I did... Oh, go on.
So did you both enjoy the actual mech gameplay, or was it just the pilot problems you had with?
I didn't try any apart from the pilot one, but to be honest, I know I did play a bit of the first one, and I know the whole point of Titanfall is to get into your big Titan, isn't it? But I don't enjoy that. I just like the pilot versus pilot
Really,
kind of
yeah.
thing.
And I totally agree with you there. Going back to like games like Call of Duty, like the latest ones where you have specialists, I didn't like that gimmick. And like coming into Titanfall, I was like, okay, it might be fun to get in these mechs. And I found it quite a while. It took quite a while to actually get the mech.
Yeah.
And then I dropped it down, and I was just like, yeah, what do I do now?
Yeah.
I did prefer just seeing the enemy mechs in the distance and just getting out my massive plasma cannon or whatever it was, and just taking down that mech. I enjoyed that more than actually being in the mech, because you are that target. You have got a target painted on your back with it.
Really, yeah, I see.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy it.
The animations themselves for actually getting in the mech were pretty cool.
Yeah, they were very cool on the original one as well, I'd say. The original one, I found, like I was saying a second ago, it was very unbalanced. There was only 3 Titans. I don't know how many there are in this one, but there were only 3 Titans, a light, heavy, and a medium one. You had, I think 5 guns for the Titans and 5 guns for the pilots, and it felt very like there wasn't enough in the game. How does this stand compared to that?
Weapon-wise, I think there's quite a few more weapons now. I tried to mix it up a little with SMGs and the assault class. Titans, I think there was 2 available in the tech test, and I think there might be 4 or 5. I can't even tell you which Titan I had. I just dropped in a Titan and lasted about a minute in it before I had to eject out.
Really?
Yeah, I think there is a couple more, because the big teaser for Titanfall 2 was the mech with the sword.
Yeah, I remember.
And obviously they're holding that back for the main release. They're not going to throw that out there yet.
That's fair enough, I guess.
The LMGs were good on this game, I found, for guns-wise. But I believe they added new guns this week as well.
Oh, really? I'm going to try it out this weekend, I think, but I didn't get a chance last weekend. I really enjoyed the first one. I really did. Like I was saying, like the one thing it's a first-person shooter I was very good at as well. I'm tend not to be with like competitive first-person shooters, but with that, I found I could get in my Titan. There was the light Titan, and there was basically a grenade launcher weapon for your Titan, and I could literally just point out grenades, like fly out really quickly, and then dart around so quickly that no one could catch me, and I could last forever on it, and it was amazing. But it sounds like they've balanced out a lot more now.
I think from what I've heard as well, they've nerfed the learning curve down as well. They've taken the learning curve down, so it is more accessible for people who haven't played Titanfall 1 to just jump in. And then the veteran players, I think, were complaining a little bit about that, but I think there's a lot of changes that Respawn are actually going to implement going forward to the main game, because I think it got canned. You know, there was a lot of, I wouldn't say abuse, but there was a lot of unhappy people after playing the this test. But they might change some stuff for the beta, which is this weekend, I think. Yeah. So I will give it a go again.
I'll be playing it again just to see if there's anything changed.
I think I'm going to jump on it this week for definite.
I like the maps, to be fair.
I did actually
really enjoy the maps.
Mm.
Do you have to, at the end of a match, so I was saying now, like, you lose, do you have to escape, like, on the first one, or...?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I really enjoyed that.
I lost every game when I played last weekend. I didn't win a single one, so I was escaping every time.
But it's cool aspect. It changes the story. You know, you're not just like, oh, the scores got to the end, and now everyone just stands very still.
I didn't understand it at first. I was like, why someone just kill me when the game had ended, and then I was just spectating. I was like, what is this? And then I realised you had to actually get to the escape bit. I was like, oh.
And you can shoot that escape thing as well. You can blow them up.
But I found with the evacuation that sometimes the ship would be in a stupid location. So if you didn't have the grappling hook, I found it very difficult to actually get to that.
You was forced to use the parkour system to make the most of it.
Whereas me, I'd like boots on the ground.
Yeah, that's unstoppable.
Which is actually really annoying me about the next Call of Duty, that in order to play Modern Warfare 1, I've got to spend £70 or £80, whatever it is, and I just can't justify that to play Warfare 1.
It is a ridiculous price as well, isn't it? Just for that, I mean, I imagine the amount of people are just going to be getting it for that game and not Infinite Warfare.
I totally agree.
To be honest, if... who's doing this one now? It's which Call of Duty? Infinity. Yeah. If Infinity had just come out and said, this year for Call of Duty, you're just getting a re-release of Warfare, I would love it.
Everyone would have loved it.
Yeah,
everyone would have been fine.
A re-release of Modern Warfare with the maps from maybe 2 and 3 in it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Or like a deluxe one, so it was all the guns and the maps. And
the internet would have lost its shit.
Oh, yeah,
you know?
that would have saved Call of Duty, but I think Call of Duty is pretty much dead now.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely. I'd have preferred Ghosts too. I enjoyed Ghosts. I'm probably one of the only people that did, because everyone seemed to hate it, but I loved it.
I didn't mind Ghosts, but I didn't invest as much time as I did in like Warfare 2, or that's the main one. I spent a lot of time in that game. Yeah. It was like I can't remember what my exact
prestige
hours played. Yeah, well, my prestige was fairly low because I never used a prestige after I got the AK. So I used to love getting the AK, and then it's like you next level your prestige and you lose it again. It's just like after level 50. But I think for me it was probably about 4 to 5 days worth I'd spent on that game. It was a lot of hours.
Oh God, I spent like 10 days on Ghost.
I think I was the same on the Black Ops 1. That was the one I really got me into Call of Duty. It was long enough ago where I wasn't quite an adult yet, so I could stay up all night with my friends just playing games. Like, you can't really do that anymore, can you? When you grow up.
Oh no, when you're adults.
Responsibilities come into
got to be an adult.
So, have you guys been paying attention to Gamescom this past week?
A little bit.
How about you?
I have not. I've had a very stressful week, and I've this Gamescom has flown straight over my head. So it's whatever you're going to say is news to me. Actually, the only thing I heard out of Gamescom was the Call of Duty Zombies in space.
Zombies, yeah, looks quite cool actually.
That does look good.
It looks really, really fun. But other than that, I think I know nothing. So I'm going to hand it over to you, and you can tell me everything about Gamescom.
So there wasn't really anything announced that much at Gamescom. There was we got to see a lot of footage of games that we hadn't seen, like we'd heard of in E3.
Yeah.
But we got to see footage finally of them, like For Honor. Have you seen that, guys?
No.
So is
that the hell thing?
No, For Honor's it's imagine Dark Souls.
Yeah.
But it's like Dark Souls and Call of Duty had a bastard child, basically. So imagine you got like a team like you would in Call of Duty, and then you have swords and you fight like Dark Souls, and it's got that really brutal, like, you know, you can kill someone in one swipe type of thing. We got a lot more footage of that. It looks really cool.
That does sound good, actually.
It's really interesting, and it goes by like so you have like nationalities, so you can have Japan, so you could be a samurai.
Yes, I have seen some of this. Sorry, yes,
cool.
yeah.
It looks really interesting. I'm really, really excited for that. We got a lot of footage for that. Also, I think the big one that a lot of people are very excited for is Warhammer 40K's Dawn of War. Have you heard of it?
I used to play. Yes, I used to play. Well, I used to spend a lot of money on Warhammer back in the day.
Really? So, have you heard of the Dawn of War games? Because this is the third. Yeah, this is the third one now. A lot of footage for that was shown as well, and it looked really, really interesting. They've changed it a lot from the originals, but I think it's changed enough to keep it interesting again. You know, because if we've got more just, you know, of the same, I think people get bored. But that looked really, really interesting. Another thing a lot was this. What's it called now? I think they're calling it the PlayStation Slim or the PS4 Slim.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What it is. Have you seen about that? Again, basically someone in Germany, apparently this is what I've heard, stole one from a Sony booth, even though it's not been announced. It wasn't officially at the show. It was stolen from a Sony booth, and then put on an auction site, not eBay, some other like dark part of the web auction site, and sold. And there's like photos of this thing now. It's like the PlayStation 4 Slim. Have you seen it?
Is it the white one?
No, it's black.
That's going around. Oh, is it? I've seen a picture of a white one.
I haven't seen that one actually. I'll have to look that up.
It's there's been a bit of controversy with it already because it hasn't got a optical audio. They've taken the optical audio out, haven't they?
I used that actually, so.
So you won't be getting a Slim?
No, I will not. I won't bother. Because I have an Astro mix amp, so it has to plug into that. So that's why I tend to use it.
Mm.
But yeah, Gamescom. I think it's with Gamescom now. It's definitely becoming like the new E3. There's because E3 is obviously press only, but Gamescom is open to the public. So I think that's quite different. It's changing. Obviously, like people are getting a lot more hands-on. That, you know, you can go there, you can talk to the developers and go to, you know, talks about games and stuff like that. It's a lot more interesting. And I think E3 is kind of dying out. Like you look now, people are having shows at E3, but they're having them like 3 days before, just because.
It's like Nintendo kind of kicked it with that, didn't they? With the Nintendo Direct, and then they're not at E3.
They're not. Yeah, exactly. I think that's. But they were. I think they were at Gamescom actually. I think they did have a bit at Gamescom.
It'll be interesting to see if. I don't think they will completely phase out E3, but you can see a lot of announcements, say like Bethesda having their own show.
They did it. I think they did
Square Enix and every developer having their own show, and then just showing a bit of footage or talking a little more about it at E3. But there's EGX coming up as well, isn't there?
That's right.
And that is in my hometown, Birmingham. And the Brummies are hosting EGX, and I do believe we're all going.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm quite excited.
Which is really fun.
I'm really excited. I've been going since 2009.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, so I'm hardcore.
It is my first time. It will be my first time at EGX. However, do you remember many years ago Games Master?
No, I've never heard of it.
No.
Oh, don't tell me you're too young to remember Games Master.
I've never heard of it. How old are you, Chris?
I'm 30 years old.
You're only 2 years older than me.
I was going to say, I'm 28.
Yeah.
So...
Okay.
I'm the youngest here. Jesus.
Back in the day, on one of the terrestrial TV channels was Games Master. And it was, I'm going to forget the guy's name. He was the astronomer. He used to have a really high waistband.
Oh.
Patrick, is it Patrick?
I know. I think I've seen footage of this, and his head's like in a glass jar or something.
Yeah, it's like the guy at Power Rangers. But
that's right, yeah.
Yeah, this guy, can't remember his name, astronomer, used to host Sky at Night.
That's right, yeah.
And it's going to bug the hell out of me what his name is now, so I apologise for that.
Yeah,
and there used to be a game show where teams would come on, they'd play loads of different video games, and he would be like the voice, the know-it-all of the show.
Yeah.
And at the end of the show, the winning team will get like a golden Atari joystick. And you're going to have to look into this, because it's like they used to have like all the old games, like the first Rainbow Six, like original Tomb Raider, like a lot of co-op games, single games, and then just compete. And then every year at the NEC, they would have like the Games Master Trade Show, where you could go around, you could play the game. It was a bit like EGX,
yeah,
and like Gamescom sort of thing. So you go around and there's be all the booths, and you can like play the games. I played Tomb Raider 2 there. And this is back in the day when you go to like a convention or something, and you get loads of free stuff.
You used to with EGX as well.
Yeah, you just like go, you turn a corner, and there'll be demos for all these obscure little PC games, and you just go around, and it's something me and my dad used to do, because like my mum would work doing something else at another hall at the NEC for another show or whatever she was doing. And so we'd go around and go around the Games Master show. It was cool because I picked up like my first pack of like Magic the Gathering cards there, and you just like random little things you get, and you get like bags of stuff. You come out with like absolute bags of stuff. But I can't believe you haven't heard of Games Master.
No.
That makes me
very
feel
similar to what EGX is now, but a bit better. It sounds, to be honest.
Sounds fun. Sounds like it would have been fun.
Yeah. And to have it back then as well.
Yeah, this is going back probably, it's got to be over 10, 15 years, easy.
Because I know Game, the actual store Game, they used to hold one in the NEC as well, but I think they only did it for 2 years, and it wasn't successful enough, so they just canned it. Because I think it was a week before EGX, when EGX used to be in London. And I never bothered with that, to be honest. I know Insomnia Festival is happening this weekend as well.
It is, yeah.
Not going?
No. Insomnia's not really, from what I've heard, and Insomnia, it seems to be more of a younger audience. What I've heard, I mean, I've never been to an Insomnia event before, but from what I've heard from people who have been, they've said it tends to be like more 18-year-old kind of thing, but at EGX, you see people from little kids to like 60-year-olds, don't you?
Yeah, I agree with you there. Insomnia feels more like it's how can I put it? Like, obviously it started off as basically just big lamb pie, but it's kind of shifted towards basically meet and greet YouTubers and get drunk, and that's about it.
Exactly, because they do like some sort of pub quiz at the event afterwards, where everyone just gets drunk together and stuff like that, and it just, I don't know, it just doesn't seem much more focused on the games, like you said, more of meeting people. Yeah,
that's it. It's definitely shifted from what it was to this kind of weird thing now. It's like maybe like a tiny QuitchCon more now, I'd say.
Yeah.
I'd like to go to one though, but it's the camping that I don't think I would enjoy. Because I got a campsite and everything, and I don't think I'd like that.
No. It's like festivals. No. I prefer my own working toilet. I prefer my own cooking. I prefer my own bed, and I would rather watch V Festival on the TV or whatever festival on the TV in the safety of my own home without typhoid. No, I haven't.
No,
Ruth? Without the risk of getting typhoid and God knows what.
No, neither of you have been to a festival.
I've never camped at all.
Really? You're not missing out. It's not very nice, to be honest.
No, the thought of not having hot water access just, no.
I've done Reading once, and I've done Wakestock as well, which is like one that's quite local to me. I think it's about maybe 20 miles away from my house, and it's based around wakeboarding, and it's just horrible. Like, it seems like a really good at the time, but like being a nerd or a geek, I don't tend to be very good at socializing with other people. So you get to a point where you're just like, I hate everyone in this place. I want to go away, leave me alone, and you can't. There's nowhere to hide.
Yeah.
So
I've been the same.
I've done a bit of camping out, but there's something about, you say, I love staying in caravans. I love caravans. We've got our own vans down south, and love going to the caravan. Brilliant. Tent, I would. I don't mind camping, but you just got to remember, if you go camping, you're going to wake up miserable. You're going to wake up cold. You're going to wake up hungry, and you're going to wake up with a stiff neck and a bad back.
Yeah.
So if you like all those things, camping, it's for you, but it's pretty tough.
Yeah, and communal showers.
Oh, no.
No, not for me.
No.
So what have you guys been playing, watching, and reading this week?
Destiny. Yeah.
You're back on
Destiny.
PS4.
Oh, I'm back on Destiny. I'm grinding out now for the Rise of Iron, getting all my characters up. That's literally all I have played this week.
Really?
So, yeah, that is it for me. Oh, I have played a bit of Dead by Daylight,
That's the horror one that I think you told me about. That I was quite interested in.
Oh, it's so much fun. It is so much fun. I mean, you go on there, you get matched with 3 other players, and you just all join together to try and escape. But you can also play as the killer as well if you want.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, yes, I have heard about this. It sounds terrifying.
It's not actually scary. I'm very jumpy, and the only time I've ever jumped is when the killer has been getting close to me and I've just seen him out the corner of my eye. But you can be the killer to get rid of the scariness. But it is fun. I've watched a ton of Twitch streams on it.
It's doing quite well on Twitch at the moment, isn't it?
I see tons of it, and I enjoy watching loads just to see like all the tactics people do. But it's a lot of fun. I really recommend it. It's a good game.
Does it play a lot like... Oh, go on, Dan. Sorry.
Have you got it on the PC, Ruth, or...
Yeah, on PC. I think it's only on Steam.
It's on PS4 as well, I think.
Someone told me that, and I tried to find it, and I couldn't. I don't know if it's on the... It's available in the UK, or...
I think it might not be out yet, or it's coming or something, but I've definitely seen something about it on the PS4.
Oh, because I tried searching on the store, and I couldn't find it, so I've just got it on Steam at the minute, and it's good. It's a lot of fun.
I'll have to check that out.
Definitely.
Does it play a lot like Evolve? The same sort of...
Sounds very similar.
Same format.
I have never played Evolve.
Have you, Chris?
Nope.
I was one of them people who bought it.
I heard it might be going free to play soon.
It is free to play on PC at the moment.
Oh, is it just PC?
I think it's exclusive to PC.
Nah, never mind.
But
no, it it intrigued me when it first came out, but for me it was like, how long is this actually going to last? How long is it going to keep me entertained for?
Yeah.
And I watched a few like YouTuber videos, and then it was just like, it just dropped off the radar, and then that was it. I completely forgot about it until this very episode.
Oh, fair enough. You're not missing out. I bought it. I bought the collector's edition, like a sucker. I bought all the Funko Pops for it. I can't sell them. No, there's nothing to it, and a lot of people dropped off with it so quickly. It got quite boring. So yeah, it's pretty rubbish. Don't buy it. So what have you been playing, reading, watching this week, Chris?
I haven't read anything. I haven't particularly watched anything. I think the only thing I've watched this week was Nashville, and that was with Emma last night. So that's not really that exciting. Other than that, I played a little bit of Titanfall 2, which we discussed earlier, which wasn't too bad. It wasn't too great. But half an hour before we started recording, I put in Deus Ex.
Ooh.
And I picked up Deus Ex. I didn't realise I had money in my PayPal account, so it was like, yes, Deus Ex it's going to be. Completely forgot it was being released.
Yeah.
And it's one of those games I didn't jump on the hype train for. I just like, oh, there's a Deus Ex coming out. Can't remember when. Oh, it's out today. I'll get it.
Did you play the previous ones?
Yes. I love the previous ones.
Really?
Yeah. If you haven't played the previous ones, this game will spend about 20 minutes explaining the entire plot of the first game.
Good.
So as soon as you boot it up and you choose your difficulty, it will have a lot of the key cutscenes, and you've got your main dude, Jensen, is it? I can't remember. Narrating and telling you the story of how they got to this point, which is set 2 years after, what was the title of the last one?
Human Revolution?
Yeah, and this is Mankind...
Divided,
yeah. So the basic plot of this, from what I can gather, is it's 2 years later, and currently at the start of the game, I'm in Dubai, in this old... it's kind of like a question mark shaped hotel, this ruined hotel in Dubai. So I'm just going through the training, the tutorial sections on using the cover, and there was a big criticism about the controls in the last game.
Yeah,
but
I didn't really like them, to be honest. That's why I haven't finished it.
as soon as you start this game, it tells you what sort of control scheme you want. So I went for the classic first-person shooter control scheme.
Mm-hmm.
So it's L2 to aim, R2 to shoot, and then you can snap into cover with L1. Yeah. So it's very familiar if you're into most first-person shooter games.
Yeah.
But graphically, it's looking great. The voice acting in parts at the moment with a couple of the minor characters is a bit iffy. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I've only been playing it for probably about 20 minutes, and 19 of those minutes were cutscenes. Just that intro and telling you what's going on. But yeah, I really, like I said, I really enjoyed the last game. Spent a lot of time into it, and what bugged me about the last game is I learned that you could do the entire game without killing anybody.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I started that after the first tutorial, so I killed the guy in the first tutorial. And then didn't realise and then I started playing passive, and I thought, because that was a tutorial, it didn't count. So I played the entire game passive, and I didn't get that non-lethal trophy because I killed that one guy at the start, and I was just like so gutted. But with this one, I haven't actually killed anything yet, so I'm going to probably do 2 playthroughs. One taking the stealth approach, and then the other just shooting the crap out of everybody that gets in my path. But yeah, that's what I've been playing. And like I said, I haven't read and haven't really watched anything this week.
Sounds very good.
It's been a slow week.
No, fair enough. It sounds like both of you had a pretty slow week, to be honest.
Yes, and how about yourself?
Well, I am on my 2-week holidays, like I keep rubbing in.
Yes, you do.
So I've literally done nothing but play video games and watch Netflix all week, and it's been like the best week of my life. Unbelievable. I've been playing a little bit of No Man's Sky. After our talk last week, I kind of given up on it. It's just rubbish. It's just rubbish. I put about another 10 hours into it since we last spoke, and I've kind of just figured out that basically I don't like it because the effort you have to put into everything, you don't get enough reward, and I can't be bothered with it, so I just taken it out. And I put a game in where I basically can do the same, but I get more reward. So I started playing Fallout 4 again.
I love Fallout 4.
That's so good. I've been prepping for the new DLC that's coming out. I think it's next Tuesday. Have you seen it?
I have actually not. I've still not bought any DLC for Fallout 4.
Oh, it's
not yet.
There's some really good ones.
I don't buy DLC.
Really?
I think the only DLC I've ever bought was one map pack for Warfare 2. It's the only DLC I've really bought, and I didn't buy any of the Fallout ones because I ended up spending, I think it was like £120 on the collector's edition with the Pip-Boy.
Yeah.
I played Fallout for about 4 weeks, and then I just put it to one side, and that was it.
Did you finish the story and everything?
I can't remember. I got to spoilers, people. I got to the Institute.
Yeah.
And
you found out who.
Yeah.
Running the place. I'm not going to say who.
And then I think that was it. I think I stopped after that.
Well, you're very, very close to the end then. Like, really close. Did you finish it, Ruth?
No, I've not finished it. So I've not played it probably since Christmas now. And I can't remember. The only reason I stopped playing it is I got to a particular point where I could not get past a pack of, I don't know what they were, some sort of dogs they were. And I ended up getting so frustrated I killed a group of settlers and then turned the game off.
Oh.
I didn't play it again, which is annoying. I love it.
I did that in the Institute. I was just like, I'm bored now. And then I just started killing everyone in the Institute. And it's like an unlimited wave of people coming at you. And I was just like, that's it, I'm done. Well, I'll put it down.
I jumped back on it, and like I said, it's basically like that, looking for things of No Man's Sky, but I get rewarded a bit better for it. I finished the point. It was Far Harbor DLC this week, which is the last one. I didn't bother doing the because there was 5 DLCs, I think it is. 2 of them were built around building in your settlements, and I didn't really enjoy that. I found it quite boring.
Yeah.
So I didn't bother with any of that, but I did the 2 story ones are basically the Animatron, I think it was called.
Yeah, is that the one where you can build your own robots?
Yeah,
as
I
well?
did that.
Yeah, that one looked pretty cool.
It was very cool, actually. I built a pink robot called SexyBot 3000, and it was covered in spikes. It was awesome.
So the dominatrix bot.
Yeah, it was really brutal. He was getting me loads of kills. His best companion I've ever had on Fallout. And then I did the Far Harbor, which it was okay. There was a bit of it I didn't like. Potential spoilers now. You basically find out who Nick Valentine's brother is, another synth, and you basically go to this settlement where it's just synth. It's a place for people who aren't sure if they're a synth or not to go and hide. You go looking for this daughter of someone who hires you to do it. And I really enjoyed it. It was quite different. But I did all that prepping for this one that's coming out next week, which is Nuka World. I'm really excited for it. I really can't wait because the idea of going to a theme park just amazes me. Like an abandoned theme park and all the rides and stuff like that. It seems so cool, so I'm really excited for that. So I've been playing that. And Overwatch as usual.
That's your staple, isn't it? Overwatch. I actually had a couple of games. What day are we today? We're Friday today. I think it was yesterday or Wednesday.
So after the Summer Games had ended.
Yeah, it was the same day the games had ended, and season 1 had ended, and I got like 20 pink tokens for the gold guns.
You need like 300.
Yeah, I think I've got 21 in total. No, I haven't got that many. But yeah, I had a good couple of games. Still lost, but still rocking Lucio because Lucio is just awesome for me.
Awesome.
I can stay back, heal up. Generally plays Lucio, sometimes Mei. That's kind of my two go-to characters when it comes to Overwatch.
Yeah.
But I am interested...
Oh, sorry, you go.
Oh, have you played the new map?
Yeah, I was about to say I've been playing on the PTR, so obviously being a PC, I get the PTR, so I get to test like things out before you guys get them on the console. And I've been playing the new map, and it's so cool. It's so different from the others, and it's in most of them. If you know, like you have to capture somewhere, and then you get the payload, and you push the payload.
Yeah.
Well, this is the other way around. You get a payload, you get to somewhere, then you have to capture. Then the payload goes again, then you have to capture again. It's really different. It changes it up so much. But you go through a village with all these destroyed bastion units around, get to the castle door, smash the castle door open, then get to the back of the castle and basically get Reinhardt some new armor, and it looks really, really cool. The new armor's coming for Reinhardt as well in the game, which looks awesome. So I've been playing that as well. And I've been playing a lot more of Anna on it. So she's pretty, she's still pretty new. She had a little bit of a buff on the PTR, so her rate of fire is a bit better. So she's a lot more, viable now than she was before. And that's basically it.
She is a character I don't mind playing as. Generally in games like this where you pick if you're like an assault support or what have you, I always go for the support because if I'm up front, I always die.
Yeah.
And in Overwatch the other night, it was like me and Reaper, and I thought, you know what? I'm Lucio, he's Reaper. Reaper is a close quarter specialist.
Yeah.
I still took him on and lost. It was fun. It didn't last very long. But talking of Overwatch and the new map, have you seen the Bastion short Blizzard put out?
Have you seen it, Ruth?
No.
Oh,
that video is so well done.
It is. I don't know who makes them at Blizzard, but I take my hat off to them. They make some absolutely beautiful videos. Incredible video. As soon as I saw it, I was like on Twitter. I was like, "This is such a testament to people who suffer with PTSD." Yeah.
Because it mirrors it. The way you just have to watch this video. It's quite a powerful little short, and to say it starts off with, like, Bastion as like this robot, and you wouldn't think you could convey that much emotion with a robot to PTSD.
Either.
Is it where it starts up in the forest?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the one.
Yes, I have seen it.
And
oh no, the ending to that, as a game thing, I felt a bit teary.
Well, with the bird, like, is he okay?
Yeah, I was like, no. It was powerful. I understand what you mean. Yeah.
It's very good though. Very good.
Yeah.
So I was just watching it on the one of the morning. I was just like, shit, this is heavy.
Yeah.
You know, it really is.
All the
And
feels.
the fields, and as soon as the woodpecker,
Yeah.
and like it snaps that memory of like being at war, and
That's right. Yeah.
like,
Reinhardt looking awesome on it.
yeah. And I just love the bit where he just like turned around and it's like, right, I'm going back to the forest.
Yeah.
Well played, Bastion.
Have you been seeing all the stuff with Sombra this week on Overwatch?
Nope.
No.
So do you know about Sombra? Like this, like who's Sombra thing that's going on?
No, I've not heard anything.
It's
So-
Sombra. Am I right in saying that's Farah's mom, or is
No,
that Anna?
that's Anna.
Okay, so I have no idea what I'm talking about. Over to you.
So there was a big thing. People thought Sombra was Anna, but it came out now that no, obviously Anna's Anna, and Sombra is this different character now. So basically, if you play on PC, you're logging on to Blizzard Battle.net. That's like the kind of, like the Steam type of thing where you buy the games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Basically, people's accounts are getting hacked by this imaginary character that's going to be coming into the game, if you can understand. So to advertise this character that's coming into the game,
That is awesome.
yeah.
So you're
because the
logging
character's
in.
going to be a hacker. That's like the thing. It's going to be like a
That
stealth
is
hacker.
so cool. That is so cool.
But like, there's this big thing now. Like, if you on Reddit with people searching up about Sombra, like this in the Olympics trailer for the Olympic Games stuff that was coming out. There's stuff like Tracer or Blink, and like the white line that comes out the back of her had code in it, like 0010 and all that type of thing. People put that through a coder. It came up in like Spanish, going on about Sombra. Then people did something with that, and then got to a website which has a skull on it and a heartbeat, and the heartbeat is like in a code, like the beats are in a code for something, and apparently it's giving a date for when Sombra's going to come out. But this is crazy, like the amount of effort people had to go for this new character, to find out more about this new character, and apparently they're not going to release her until people get to the end of this like elaborate thing that they're doing.
Oh,
That
God.
is so clever. It's like a lot in the Battlefield community with all the Easter eggs in Battlefield, and like when everyone was hunting to find the Megalodon
Yeah, that was
on
awesome.
Parallel Storm.
Yeah.
The amount people, first of all, credits to the developers for actually going so far down the rabbit hole that they can actually come up with this to say, right, so we're going to put this piece of code in, which is going to translate into Spanish.
Yeah.
And that's going to link over to something else, but there's going to be a hidden message in there that's going to link to someone else, and eventually we're going to get the whole picture.
That's right.
I would love to do something like that. And to be honest, I've kind of thought of doing something very similar on our YouTube channel for like a geocache
Yeah.
type of thing, where we just go out and have a lot of subliminal numbers within the video, and then put those numbers together. You get a location, and you go to that location, and there'll be the prize, or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
I've been toying with the idea, but there's a lot of like logistics and work that will have to go into creating a video like that, and to actually trying to make it fair. Well, obviously, if you put it out on YouTube and like audience from overseas see it, it's not fair because they can't, participate in this sort of thing.
Yeah.
But to do one digitally over the internet would be a lot easier, but a lot harder as well from the technical point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
But it's something that's like treasure hunts. It's so fun to try and come up with these ideas, and then to see if people actually start linking them all together to get that picture. Genius people. These developers, absolute
Yeah.
geniuses.
I take my hat off to them. I'm a Blizzard fanboy as it is, but they do so well with stuff like this. Another thing, actually, apparently at BlizzCon this year, which is coming up in September, apparently they're going to announce, I don't know if this is true or anything, I might be totally wrong, but apparently they are going to announce a Overwatch like film, a proper film in the cinemas and everything.
Oh.
So that'll be pretty interesting.
Would you like to see Would you like to see that as live action or as the animation?
Animation, easily by animation.
Yeah.
I think so as well, yeah.
I love the animation.
I think if they were to do it as a live action, they'd lose the personality of the voice actors and actresses they've already got. So yeah, it would definitely have to be an animation. But yeah, it would. You know, there's so much depth in Overwatch that I haven't even scratched the surface of it. I just put it on. I hear Winston trying to babble into the microphone, into the camera at the start of the game, and then I kind of lose the story after that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, after watching that Bastion short film as well, that was just amazing. And I think there's a Reaper one out now as well, or there's a Reaper one coming.
I've actually been reading the comics on, although I just checked now what the name of the app is. I think it's Mediafire. So there's they've been doing a lot of comics of it as well, and there's some really interesting ones of that. If you want, I highly suggest you guys check them out. But you learn a lot more about these characters that you play, and the game doesn't really tell you. You have to look for this stuff yourself, I guess. But they're definitely worth checking out.
And that was what, Mediafire?
Yeah, Mediafire.
Yeah, I'm writing that down now.
I'm not sure if it's on the Android store, but it's definitely on the Apple store anyway. And they're all animated comics as well, so cool. they move and stuff like that. It's really interesting, really interesting. But what else? We ski whiffed quite a bit there. I've been watching. I've just finished Stranger Things on Netflix.
Oh, brilliant! That show is. I think we touched on it last week as well.
Yeah,
I hadn't watched it last week. I literally binged in it this week.
So, have you seen it, Ruth?
No, it is on my next. So I'm waiting to finish Scream and then I'll be onto it.
Definitely worth watching.
Scream as well. I'm so gutted I've got to wait until I think it's October for the last 2 episodes of Scream.
I've not watched any of it.
What? Has it finished?
No. There's I think there's 12 or 13 episodes on Netflix, and then there's another 2 episodes coming in October.
Oh, so there wasn't one this week.
That
was my Friday night watching. Maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm completely wrong. I tend to be at times. But yeah, we've seen all the ones that are on Netflix as of last
season
week.
1? There's only 1 season at the moment.
Season 2 as well.
Really? Is it worth watching? Because I watched the films as a kid, and
it's nothing like the films. I mean, it is. I'd say it is a bit.
It touches more on the last film with the whole webcam and streaming of the kills.
Yeah, it's not as. It is still a bit jumpy and scary, I'd say, and I don't think the acting is the best in it.
Oh, I don't mind. I've come to like these characters. I've come to really love these characters.
I don't mind some of them, but some it's. I think it's one of them stupid, where you think, oh, that teenagers in horror films are always stupid, aren't they?
Yeah.
But I've enjoyed it, but it's really frustrating. I was on edge for the whole of the season.
I might check that out. I've got another week off, so I think I'll definitely check that out now.
Oh, definitely.
I'm kind of lost to what to watch, to be honest. I've binged on everything I want to at the moment, so...
Yeah, Scream is definitely worth watching. It's easy watching. It's funny. It's not, some of it's funny, but it's mostly a bit jumpy, but it's good. It's really worth watching.
Oh.
And they do ramp up the gore factor as well. It's it can be pretty horrific in scenes.
I don't know the gore. So.
And I think, Dan, you wanted to go into the new Ironman. Is that correct?
Yeah, just lightly. So I actually, funny enough, I have been reading it this week as well. So have you guys heard about the new what's happening with Ironman now? Before I dive into this.
Nope.
Really?
Just what you told me.
Just what I've told you. Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, are you guys aware of what's happened with the Avengers now? The Avengers basically is nothing like what it is in the cinematic universe, or hasn't been for maybe 2 years now.
I am so far out on comics. I have no idea where to start. I have yet to see Civil War as well.
All right. So.
But yeah, go for it. Tell me about this.
So I'll touch on all of the Avengers lightly, quickly, but so the Falcon now is the Captain America. Steve Rogers got mesmerized in some crazy way, ended up working for Hydra.
Okay.
But he's come back now as not Captain America, but Captain America, if you understand, like a different uniform, but the Falcon is Captain America. Spider-Man isn't Peter Parker anymore. It's a young Hispanic boy called Miles Morales. Who else is there? Thor is a woman.
Oh, I know about that. It's Jane. What is it?
Foster, I think.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jane Foster. Yeah.
Natalie Portman's character in the films. That's correct.
That's right.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Who else? And now we've got Iron Man. So Iron Man now is a 15-year-old black girl, I guess. That's the best way of describing her. So she's meant to be like, she basically built an Iron Man suit in her dorm room. She goes to a private school. And this is kind of weird. Like, what do you think of this whole like thing that Marvel is doing now, where they're changing these characters that we know and I've grown up with them. To these...
I don't mind the fact that they change it and like reinvent these characters, but at the same time, it would be nice if they didn't like associate it with Iron Man.
Yeah.
So we have this new. So because I've seen one picture where it is the Iron Man suit, isn't it? Is that correct?
It's literally the Iron Man suit, but quite a lot smaller. They've named her Iron Heart, so she's not Iron Man. They were going to call her Iron Maiden, but for legal reasons they couldn't.
I think it would have been good to see a different suit color or a different suit design.
Yeah.
So you could differentiate from Iron Man to Iron Heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind these like changes, but I think for me there needs to be enough of a change so it's not just like, oh, this is the new Spider-Man, this is the new Iron Man. There's got to be something there something more to draw my attention. That's why I love the Kamala Khan as Miss Marvel, and there was another comic I wanted to start on which I never got round to, and that was Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
That's one I wanted to start, but I haven't got round to sorting that one yet. Like I said, I do not know where to start with comics. When Marvel did the reset on the universe sort of thing, the all new, all different, I thought it would be
after Secret Wars. It was, wasn't it?
I thought what they would end up doing was starting every story from scratch, but they still used all the characters.
That's right. Yeah.
I find comics very confusing just to pick up a random comic and start reading.
Yeah, you can't really nowadays. Yeah. They have so many going at the moment. It's very, very difficult to.
So I generally just stick to the graphic novels. Yeah. I'll just pick a graphic novel and hopefully when I pick it up, it makes sense in my mind to where in Marvel history or the lore of that character it fits in.
Because you shouldn't, in my opinion, you shouldn't have to... I want to start reading this comic series. I shouldn't have to go into Wiki and do like all this research just to start reading a comic. I just want to pick it up and start reading this series, and it kind of annoys you a little bit. I've typically always been a Marvel fan, and I'm kind of starting to go towards DC at the moment, so I've had to do that quite a lot. But Ruth, what do you think about the whole like this thing Marvel are doing basically at the moment?
I actually agree with what Chris said. I don't mind stuff and changes, but it's when it's overtaking a previous character. Yeah. It's just I don't like it's like don't fix what's not broken kind of thing.
Exactly,
it's like I don't understand why it would. I mean, introduce new characters. I think that would be good, but to replace
them their own characters.
Yeah, make them instead of just being a duplicate of another one that they've just taken over. It just doesn't seem right. I don't like I said, I don't mind a bit of change, but I think that's a bit too.
I don't think it's
much.
Yeah, I don't think it works typically because they have the original characters in the same universe. Like I said, Falcon is Captain America now, but Steve Rogers is still doing the same thing with a shield in the same type of uniform, but it doesn't really work.
Doesn't make. I don't understand. It just doesn't seem like it was necessary.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I don't know why they're doing it. It just seems kind of weird. If they'll stick forever, I don't know, because they've done things like this before. Obviously, Pepper Potts has taken the Iron Man suit before as well. And that didn't last for, I think it lasted maybe 20 comics and then they got rid.
I think if it was me doing it, I would say, right, we're doing a new universe. This is Universe Y.
Yeah.
And then you introduce those new characters. So you can have a female Iron Man.
Yeah.
You can have your new, I was going to say Batman then, but no. But you can have your new Iron Man, you can have your new Spider-Man, you can have your new Thor and Hulk and everything. And then that's just contained in that little universe. It doesn't have to be like 50 different characters. It, it could just be
a new, totally new universe.
Like, a totally new universe.
Like
and
DC
just have,
did with 52 universe.
Yeah. And just do it exactly like that and just have a smaller, contained universe with great storylines.
Yeah.
That is... that is what I would do in that situation.
They've literally, the whole original Avengers line has changed now. I think Hulk is... I can't remember exactly what Hulk is, but now they've changed it. That the fact the guy, he's like, again, he's like a teenager.
Is he Filipino or
something like that? And he
South
likes
American?
the fact, and he likes the fact he's the Hulk. Like Bruce Banner always like hated the fact he was Hulk. It was like a curse to him. But now they've done it like this guy likes getting wound up and turn into the Hulk, and it seems kind of weird why they've done it, and keeping the original characters in the same universe doesn't really work in my opinion.
No, I don't think it sounds like it would do.
No,
it seems confusing.
Agree, yeah,
because like Tony Stark now is taking the onboard AI of this. I think it. Riri Williams, her name is, something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. Taking the onboard like pilot of the armor now, but he's still gonna be Iron Man. So like, how does this work? Like,
that's too confusing for me.
Yeah. So we have like, you think about it. We have like Iron Man, War Machine, which doesn't really pop up in the comics very often, and now we have this new Ironheart that's gonna basically replace Iron Man. Then on top of that, we have the cinematic universe, which most people take attention to. But
I think that's the one I'm more interested in at the moment.
Yeah,
just because it's easier to follow.
That's it. Like if these kids now are going and watching the films, and then they go, "Well, I really enjoyed that. I think I'm going to start reading comics now. I'm 12 years age or so. I'm going to start reading comics." If now is a really bad time for that kid to jump into the comic series.
Yeah.
They've kind of shot themselves in the foot, in my opinion.
They're just a bit confused, don't they?
Exactly.
They just need to do a hard reset and say, right, new universe, this is the characters, these are the rules, have fun, enjoy reading.
They literally did that with Secret Wars last year, so what do they do now?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just a total...
Definitely back themselves into a corner.
Yeah. I think, like I said, I've always been a Marvel fanboy, but recently I am really enjoying DC a lot more at the moment. With the whole DC Rebirth series that they're doing at the moment, I'm really getting into that now. And I think they're making some of these characters really interesting now. Like Aquaman, for instance, is a really kind of a rubbish hero. But in his Rebirth comic, he's really interesting, like totally different and really badass. So yeah, Marvel sucks at the moment. That's what I wanted to touch on. So yeah, so that is it for the week. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. I have been Dan. You can find me on Twitter at SparkStrikes, on YouTube at SparkStrikes, and Twitch TV pretty much every night at SparkStrikes. Chris?
So you can find me at My Mind's Emporium on Twitter and the same on YouTube. Ruth?
And yeah, you can find me on Twitter at ThrillsXX and on YouTube, just Thrills.
So thank you very much for watching, guys. We've been the Geeky Brits. Hopefully you've enjoyed, and hopefully you tune in next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.